Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Bushcraft Dave. This week I'm out and about on a big walk. I'm out in the Peak District. I'm just leaving the little village of Chinley, heading out to try and this week capture 4 Ethels. This 9-mile hike, it reckons it'll take me about 4.5 hours. Now most of the time when I'm out and about hiking, I can be normally comfortably 2.5, 3 miles an hour, which means that this walk's predicting it to be quite challenging. This first bit already is. This is one of my first peaks of the day. I'm heading to Chinley, Churn. I'll tell you a little bit more about it when I get there. Oh, it's a big climb out of Chinley. Whew, I've not been out and about for ages. Properly just been stuck really for a variety of reasons. Shows, work, weather, etc, etc. So it's really good to be out, but I'm out of breath and I'm unfit. I've been running, I've been doing badminton, I've been trying to sort of keep fit, but it's going to be a more interesting challenge today, that's for sure. So 4 peaks, 4 Ethels that I'm heading to. We'll see how many of these peaks I'm actually able to get to. There's a few of them that I think today are on private land, so there might be a few of them I'm not able to get to. But right now, this is, as you can see it, I've got some upwards climbing to do and I'm already out of breath, so thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this latest video. Let's go and get some Ethels. Oh my goodness. I'm definitely out of shape for climbing hills. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have picked such a tough one. Chinley still down in the bottom of the valley. We look like we're heading past what used to be a quarry. I think there are paths that you can walk through the quarry. I think this is just taking me round. These are awesome. Well, it's been pretty cool coming through all the sort of earthworks and quarrying and stuff like that. I've just come out the top side of it now. I've not got far to go to get to Chinley Churn, which is my first Ethel of today, but I found something and I want you to help me decide what you think it is. Let's have a look. So there's all sorts of structures and bits and pieces around here. Now either this is just a shelter, so for anyone who was working up here at the time, so that they had a safe space to be. You can see there was evidence of that there used to be a roof, timber beams, some stones on top of it. My other thought is that potentially this could have been the toilet, maybe. Hole between those 2 stones maybe, that's now since been filled in. I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere, but you'd think they'd have some organised way to be able to recognise the call of nature as they're out and about. Oh, it was a heavy climb up. Hard work on very unfit legs. Hiking tired. But I reckon I'm probably as high as I'm going to get for this one. I know that I've got to go a fair bit back down and a fair bit back up again, maybe even a bit higher for the second peak, which makes me think it's one over there. We'll see when we get there. Hope you're enjoying it. I am. Even though I'm knackered, I am enjoying it. There we go, first one done today, Chinley Churn. 457 metres with a prominence of 127 metres. No trig point or anything there, which is a little bit disappointing. There is a trig point so this is officially Chinley Churn North. There is a Chinley Churn South, which does have a trig point. Isn't one of the Ethels, is much lower down. I couldn't even tell you how high it is, but we're on the descent now to head to the second peak today, Mount Famine. So I'm not exactly sure from here, perspective wise, quite where I'm headed. I'm vaguely walking back in the direction that I came from before, heading vaguely towards Chinley as we speak right now. But I think pretty soon I'm going to need to turn left and head to the other hills over the other side. See where we're off. Well, it didn't take very long to get back down. My momentum, by which I mean my heaviness, brought me down there pretty quick. What I'm quite pleased about, let me just check. Yeah, I want to turn here. What I was quite pleased about is that I could just about keep myself at a fairly reasonable pace as I was descending there. It's so easy to let the pace that you're going get out of hand. You almost end up running and then you can't really stop, and everything's pretty mulchy, squidgy, pretty wet under feet, so everything's a little bit slippy. But I've got my new shoes on today. I realised this is the first hike that I've done in my brand new boots. I treated myself with some Christmas money. I got myself a pair of lower Renegades, and I specifically chose them. Everybody says they're great boots, and they truly are. They feel absolutely marvellous, and they're quite light as well. What I really like about them is they also have the option of wide fit, super wide fit. Like I have got wide feet, and so trying to find boots and shoes that fit me are always a bit awkward. So I've got some lower Renegades in wide. There they are. That's probably not a very good shot, is it? There they are, look. I don't know. Feel free to not show it. Anyway, as we descend now, we've pretty much finished descending. It's not long now before I'm heading back up, and it is that other side that I'm heading back up. The one that I thought about from the other side. And I'm actually going to take in two peaks in pretty quick succession. So the first one I'll hit is Mount Famine at about 470 metres. Maybe it's 473, something like that. Oh, nice. Absolutely tons of wild garlic, I think. Let's have a test. Yeah, possibly. It's about the right time of year for it to all be coming out. So yeah, we'll take in Mount Famine at 473 metres, which is a good 20 metres higher than I've just been, and I've just come down a hell of a lot, so I've got a fair old climb up. And then just beyond that is the second peak of the day, third peak of the day, and I can't remember the name of it now. South Hill, South View. I'll tell you in a bit, but what's important is it's 494 metres. It's another 20 metres higher than Mount Famine, where I'm going to next. Only 6 metres short of being classed as one of the few Ethels that are over 500 metres. They're called the Fivers. Nearly there, 494. So yeah, one of the highest ones that I'm going to have done so far. So when we go, I'll stop talking because I'm going to be out of breath at some point soon, because if I'm just climbing, it's going to be hard work. See you on the way up to Mount Famine. South Head, that's the third peak, via PBW. I'll figure that out at some point. Via PBW. Pennine Bridleway. Yeah, okay. Oh, let me get my breath back. It's a long way up. I'm not far off the top now, I think. To my right, I'm pretty sure that is South Head at 494. But first I've just got to take a little detour to Mount Famine. Not long until I've finished and maxed out the heights for the day, before eventually heading over, I think, to probably the peak in the background there. Because this is where we were, you can't quite see it, but behind this hillside and a bit further round to the right was where the first peak was, Chinley Churn. That feels like it's a long way away. In fact, at the moment, I reckon I'm probably about a third of the way there. 3 miles. But it's been heavy going. I reckon about 2 miles of that 3 has been uphill, which hopefully means that the other 6 miles I've got to go is maybe all downhill. We'll see. Right, Mount Famine, not far away. That's where I'm going next. I think somewhere over there is where I'm going after that. And over there was where I was. Oh. There we have it, Mount Famine. Now, South Head. Speed number 3, done 2. On to the third. Come on. It suddenly got very cold. Very windy. It's crazy because the sun's threatening to come out. And it keeps threatening to rain. Right, I've got that peak ahead of me now. Let's get to South Head and then on our way down to the final one. 3 down, South Head, 494 metres. I'm really hungry, I'm running on empty. I'm about, still just a bit shy of halfway, but I've done 3 of the peaks. In theory I'm going down now. I'm going to fuel up with the classic Ginster's pasty. Hopefully that'll put me more fuel in the legs. Onto the 4th peak and final peak of the day. But I reckon I've got a good 3 or 4 miles before I get there. So we've made our way down quite a bit now since we're at the top of South Head. I mean the route down from that was incredibly stony, awkward, not easy at all. But I think I've spied in the distance, now I've come a bit further down, I've spied what I think is the next hill that I'm heading for. So into the distance, in fact, let me turn camera around so you can have a look. So there's quite a few bits of peaks and stuff like that knocking around, but I don't think I've got that far to go. I think it's just going to be this little peak in the centre there. It's called Eccles Pike, and that's where we're headed next for the final peak of the day. But it's still a fair distance away. I reckon I've probably come about a mile down from South Head, so I've probably got at least another 2.5 miles to go, I would say, just to get there. So Eccles Pike stands at 370 metres, so much lower than I've been so far today, at 457, 473 and 494 at South Head. This is going to be much lower, hopefully not quite as windswept, but it does look fairly exposed over there. Oh, I'm refueled from my pasty. I've got water just in case. I've got emergency chocolate, even more just in case. Yeah, let's get to that. Let's get to that final peak. That definitely looks like where we're headed. Let's go. Getting closer. Nearly there. Sun's coming down. Best be quick. Oh, what we got then? Coombs Reservoir, Cat's Tor over there somewhere, and there's north to Chinley Churn and the town of Chinley where I was to begin with, and then Mount Famine and South Head. Ooh. Oh. It even says Eldon Hills over there somewhere, which we've been to. Okay, I just stopped to take a bit of a pause for a moment, just to reflect a little on the walk from today and also to regain some energy just for the last 1.5 miles back to the car. Behind me, in the distance, we've got Chinley, so I'm not too far away from there now. But basically I'm almost sat in a bowl in the middle of all of the peaks that I've done today. 4 Ethels done. I think that takes me up to 15 now. I'm a bit behind schedule in terms of trying to do them this year. However, obviously for me it's April the 1st today. This video will go out for you on April the 2nd. So I've still got all of the spring, summer and autumn ahead of me to do walks. I've already got some plans in place I've got a couple of nights that I'm going to camp in the Peak District. I've got a few tents that I want to try out and going to review. I've got a new cooking thing that I want to do. So it's like an add-on to my Transia, so that's going to be interesting. So that's going to be coming soon. But in amongst all that, I'm just going to get out and about and do some walking. If today has told me anything, it's that I am not walking fit at all. It's probably been like 5 or 6 weeks since I've last done a walk. My body is definitely telling me that I need to get out and about walking a lot more often, which I will do now the weather's going to brighten up a bit and hopefully I'll get a little bit more time, especially because I got a big adventure planned this summer, which is something to look out for on the channel. Other than that, I don't want to bore you with me just huffing and puffing for the last 1.5 miles, swearing and getting more and more tired. So I'll leave you with it. Thank you very much for joining me. I think next week you might see me out and about doing a few more Ethels before I then get off and do my camping trip, where you'll see all sorts of bits from that. Anyway, it's been an absolute blooming pleasure, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for joining. I am out and about. Oh God, I'm tired. I've climbed up this hill already.